It's a very imposing position to be on this bike. When you sit on this bike, it's, as I said, it's a bloke's bike, and you really feel like you've got something very, very, very special between your legs, to coin a phrase. And you feel imposing on it. You know, you pull up in traffic between a couple of cars, perhaps, if you can fit this big girl between two cars. But then I just decided to pull the trigger because during the COVID lockdown, it was just getting harder and harder to find a good, honest, cheap car, you know, that you could just test out, see what you thought of, and then at least get your money back, or maybe, if you're lucky, get a couple of quid out of it. But it doesn't have the excitement, you know, that a motorbike should have. Not for me. You know, it's great for what it does, and it does its job very well, and I can see why people love them. But it's maybe I don't want to sound too negative, but maybe the kind of people that love these bikes are generally themselves not very exciting. I don't know, but I won't bore you with that. Anyway, that's it for this one. This is the 2007 Mini Cooper S, 91,000 miles, with 175 horsepower. You know, and the only thing I would say is check the things that I've mentioned, specifically that it's quick, because 175 horsepower is no slouch. So if it doesn't feel quick, walk away, ask some questions. You know, go and have a look at another one. There are plenty of these about. CBR 1100 Super Blackbird, please. I said, yeah, no problem at all. Bearing in mind the insurance policy was about 105 quid, I think, for the XJR, because I'm so old, and I've got a fair amount of no claims bonus. Traeger Mills, by the way, if you've ever wondered where it is, that's where it is. That's what it looks like. That's all your cheap shit that you can get down in Cornwall. That's where all the old buggers go for their cup of tea and their dinner. 16-17 days of work with not a lot of experience, truth be told. I turned it into this kind of camper van, surf bus, day van conversion thingy. I mean, there's still scope to improve it and do stuff. You can stick some nice funky wheels on there. People do that a lot. I just went with wheel trims because, you know, somebody else can have that expenditure. But I think it came out pretty bloody well. That's just my personal opinion. You may obviously have your own opinion. But if you've done one of these conversions, or you're thinking about doing one, and you've got any questions, you've got any advice, you think things you think I did wrong, perhaps, or, you know, things you think I did right, and you've got a question about that, drop it in the comments, you know, because I'm happy to. I mean, I check my YouTube account every single day. I always answer pretty much the same day as the question comes in. So just drop it in the comments. The restrictions have eased a bit, so I'm out on this bad girl. It is a bit of a revisit. If you've seen the original video I did on this, on a 2000, I think it was, XJR 1300 by Yamaha, I never actually really liked that video. The video quality wasn't great. It cut off right towards the end because the battery ran out, and I didn't really get a chance to give you my real impressions of that bike apart from the negatives. You either love these or you hate them. I think they're funky. I think they're really, really funky looking cars, and I love the way that it looks very much like the Seat Leon in the respect that it actually is a four-door, but I mean, a lot of cars are doing this now since the Seat Leon Mark II started doing it all those years ago, 2006 I believe. But I love the way it does that, you know, so it looks like a kind of crossover, coupe, sporty, I don't know, it's a bit of a monster, isn't it? A bit of a mishmash, Frankenstein kind of car. We'll try it with the screen down. Hey! You Jesus bastards! I don't know if you can see that, guys, but that oil there doesn't look very good. So you buy a hybrid car just because it's incredibly economical, and it turns out not so much. And I think the Peugeot personally was far more refined inside, more comfortable inside, not so plasticky. Generally speaking, if I had my time over, I would keep the Pug and not have this in that respect. After I had the Triumph Sprint ST 1050 with the luggage, as I said in that video, you know, I decided that this is the kind of bike I really like. It seems to suit me best out of all the bikes I've tried. And the prices are kind of coming down now. You know, you can get a 2010 11 one of these in fair nick with say 30 to 35,000 miles for 4 to 4.5 grand, something like that. If you want to go for a low mileage one, slightly newer with all the luggage and everything else, you're looking probably 5 grand plus. Now this one is the 2011 ABS version, and that's one of the reasons I bought it, because I wanted to either have traction control and ABS or just the ABS. Now I couldn't afford the traction control option because that is only a 2014 onwards option, I believe, and there's no way I could have afforded that. but I didn't lose any money. I think that's a bit of a cop-out, really, putting that window in there like that. You could have put a wound-up window in there. People in the back of this car are going to get damn hot because that window only opens like 2 inches. I didn't expect to like it as much as I do, if I'm honest, but I can't really find much to complain about. Not a huge amount that's happened, but I have been getting on with things because I kind of knew that you guys would probably suggest that I did do it, because most of the people that have been replying and watching the videos actually own one, are thinking of getting one, or have owned one in the past. And I think most people would say, you know, it's worth it. This old girl is worth a little bit of effort, and although we're not going to make groundbreaking money on this, it'll be fun and it'll be good content for the channel as well. This dirty great big crack all the way up through the windscreen in there. That should have been mentioned. That really should have been mentioned in the listing. It wasn't. Then we get in underneath here. I mean, as you can see, this bonnet is mullered. We get in underneath here. This is the top of the slam panel here. I could see it being pushed in. What they didn't show me, let me just get this up here and then we'll get a better look. What they didn't tell me was this. Now, bearing in mind, this is a Category N cosmetic damage. Look at the state of that chassis leg. That has been absolutely, if you compare it to this one over here, which is straight all the way up, that has been absolutely mullered all the way in there. You can see how bent it is, how creased it is. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do about that. I can't show you much more, but it looks like, because the engine mount is in there and it goes all the way back, it looks like it could even be an engine out job just to change that chassis leg. I don't know. It is way beyond my remit.